Hello dear students, welcome to academic year 2020-21. Today we begin with our online session for learning elements of accountancy for class 12th, which is subdivided into two parts, partnership accounts and company accounts. Now in partnership accounts, we are going to study various chapters, but before that let us have an overview what we have already studied in 11th standard also, that is meaning of partnership, characteristics of partnership deed or agreement, the contents included in partnership agreement, then what all provisions are to be followed in case if agreement is not prepared by the partner. Now let us start from very first, meaning of partnership. Basically, the definition of partnership what we have studied as per Partnership Act 1932 is agreement between two or more persons who have agreed to share profits and losses of business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. Meaning wise, there are minimum 2 partners and maximum of 50 partners in course of normal business, and in case of banking it could be maximum of 100. So 2 or more persons who are competent to undertake a contract. Competent means they should be legally acceptable people who can come into agreement with some other person to undertake a contract to earn profit from legal business. The activities of business should be legal in nature. Only in that case that kind of business will be termed as a partnership firm. Now the characteristics of partnership firm, it is created by contract, means partners come into agreement and on that basis partnership begins. Profit objective, the motive of any business is to earn profit. Legal business, the business should be of legal nature. Illegal business can never be considered as form of business, and so there is no meaning of it understanding as a partnership firm. Agent of each other means here all the partners have equal right to take decisions. So decision taken by all or any one of them, but it will be binding everyone. Means because of one's decision everyone may have to suffer or may get benefit as well. Number of partners, so again I stated as per the provisions of Companies Act, now there could be minimum 2, maximum 100 in case of banking, and in normal course 50 partners. Unlimited liability, the liabilities of all partners are always unlimited. Ownership and management, the ownership and management can be done by partners irrespective whether they actively are involved or not, but in majority of the cases the management is done by the partner who is actively involved in the activities of the organization. Now coming towards third point, that is partnership deed. There is no such compulsion for partners to have a partnership deed. However, in today's world it is preferable to have a partnership deed so as to avoid any kind of dispute, and in case of dispute the court will refer to partnership deed or partnership agreement. So partnership deed is basically an agreement where all the terms of partnership are decided. It may be oral or written. It is not at all compulsory, but it is desirable to have because it will help in settling the disputes which may occur in future. Now the contents of partnership deed. So partnership deed includes details about all the partners, details about the partnership firm which they are running, then type of business in which activities are involved, commencement of partnership, when the business was started, capital, how much amount of partner capital will be introduced by each partner, interest on capital, what would be the rate of interest on capital provided to each partner, drawings, what would be the maximum limit of drawings, interest on drawings, what would be the rate of interest on drawings charged from partners, distribution of profit or loss, the profit or loss has to be distributed in some specific ratio, so that is also to be decided well in advance. Salary, bonus, commission or remuneration, some partners may be actively involved, some may not be actively involved, some may be looking after promoting sales of the organization, some may not be involved in same, so neither of the partner may be allowed remuneration, commission, bonus or salary. Interest on loan provided by partners to the firm, in case if partner is providing loan to the firm is entitled to pay interest to partner. Admission or retirement of partner, then what should be the procedure or way of calculation of goodwill, and what would be done if partnership firm is dissolved. So these are the points or contents which are well decided in partnership deed. Now coming towards next point, now from here our accounting procedure begins. Provisions in absence of Partnership Act Suppose as already discussed, we have seen partnership agreement is not at all compulsory. However, if partnership agreement is not prepared and in case if dispute arises among the partners, court will follow the provisions provided by Partnership Act 1932, which are as follows. These are the points which we need to keep in mind when there is no partnership agreement and dispute arises among partner. First is capital contribution is done by mutual agreement, means there is no compulsion how much amount of capital a partner requires to bring, and even it is not compulsory that a partner has to bring capital. It is purely upon mutual agreement. No interest on capital will be provided to any partner. Profits or losses of the firm would be shared equally. No interest on drawings will be taken from any partner. None of the partner will be entitled to salary, bonus, commission or remuneration. Interest on loan is payable at the rate of 6% per annum if a loan is given by partner to the firm, and the partner has complete right to reimburse reasonable expenses incurred by him in normal course of business, business activities. For business activities, if he incurs this kind of expenses. Now coming towards the accounting procedure. So let us recall the things we used to prepare in 11th standard while preparing financial statement. We used to prepare trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet. Now in case of partnership, we will be preparing 5 things, that is trading account, profit and loss account, then profit and loss appropriation account, then partners capital account, and finally balance sheet. 2 additional things are prepared in case of partnership firm. One is P&L appropriation account and second is partners capital. Basic difference between P&L appropriation and P&L account is P&L account is prepared when a transaction takes place between firm and outsider, but when same transaction is taking place between firm and partner, it will be considered as entry of P&L appropriation. For example, if we pay salary to manager, it is recorded as a charge in P&L account, but if we pay salary to partner, it is recorded as appropriation in P&L appropriation account. So here below is the pro forma of P&L appropriation account. Now in P&L appropriation, there are 2 sides. One is debit side, second is credit side. Debit side includes following entries. First is profit and loss account, balance of loss. Now this loss is derived from P&L account. While closing P&L account, if debit exceeds credit, difference on credit side is termed as net loss. The same value of net loss is brought down here in P&L appropriation account. Same way, if in P&L account total of credit is exceeding debit, difference on debit side will be termed as profit and that will be transferred to credit side of P&L appropriation account. Further, transactions taking place between firm and partner other than capital and drawings are interest on capital. Like if owner has invested capital, he is entitled to interest. So if firm is paying interest, it is expense from firm's point of view, so it is recorded on debit side. Let us consider there are 2 partners in this partnership firm. So interest on capital will be entitled to partner A and B and some total will be transferred to outer column. Exactly opposite of interest on capital is interest on drawings. Suppose owner has withdrawn money from business, he is liable to pay interest. That is what we call interest on drawing. Now interest on drawing is paid by partner and received by firm. So it is income from firm's point of view and incomes are recorded on credit side of P&L appropriation account. Proceeding further, there are 2 different methods of preparation of capital. One is fixed capital method and second is fluctuating capital method. Gradually we'll be learning about fluctuating capital method and fixed capital method, in which fluctuating capital method we prepare one common account, that is partners capital account, because the capital is kept the capital over here is kept in common, whereas in fixed capital method certain amount of capital is retained in business for long-term requirement and remaining amount is utilized for working capital requirements. So such type of capital is termed as working capital, and in that case partners may opt for fixed capital method. So they may be having fixed capital as well as current account balances. So in case if current account shows negative balance, in that case partner is supposed to pay interest to firm, and that is what we call interest on debit balance of current account. Same way, If partner has positive balance of current account, partner is supposed to receive interest. That means firm will pay, so it will be expense from firm's point of view. That is what we call interest on credit balance of current account. Furthermore, if some partners are actively involved in business or promoting business or maybe providing more time to business, they may be entitled to salary, commission, bonus or remuneration. So the same amount will be recorded as debit because it is expense from firm's point of view. Finally, in case if firm is earning enough profit, they may decide to retain certain amount of profit as reserves. So if they transfer anything towards reserve, that will be transferred to general reserve, and that is again carried out of appropriation. And finally, the balancing part. On balancing, either we may be having total of debit more than credit or credit more than debit. So if debit exceeds, difference will be on credit side, and this difference will be termed as divisible loss. However, we write it as partner's capital because this value of loss is to be transferred to partner's capital account. Same way, if credit side exceeds debit, difference on debit side will be termed as divisible profit, and that divisible profit is also to be provided to partners. So either of these two can come at a point of time. Both cannot come at same point of time. Either firm will be incurring profit or incurring a loss. So the profit or loss will be further divided among partners in their profit sharing ratio. And final topic for today is just a basic understanding about preparation of P&L appropriation account and partners P&L account. So let us understand the difference between both. In P&L account, it is prepared by all the firms, whereas P&L appropriation is prepared only by partnership firm or company accounts, company form of organization. However, as per the new provisions, even companies are not required to prepare the same.